It's OV season, man. Let's recap this big weekend. Another one for SC, 5-star, Mark Bowman, tight end, commitment. How did this happen?
Pretty incredible, to be honest, because there was a point where everybody assumed that the modern day to USC pipeline was going to continue. Then they started kind of falling off a little bit, and all the hype was on Georgia and Texas. And there was a point where the Bulldogs felt like they were out front, and the Longhorns felt like they had the lead. But in the end, over the last when he committed Friday, he actually informed the staff on Monday that he wanted to be a Trojan, fight on, all that good stuff. And I want to say, like, behind the scenes, Chad Bowden, GM, he gets a ton of love. But this was all about Director of Player Personnel. Max Steinecker came over from Wisconsin. This was Mark Bowman's guy. We spoke a couple days ago. He made it very clear that Max was the one that kind of kept USC warm for a very long time and was the needle mover behind the scenes. And look, there's a high price point for a guy of Mark Bowman's caliber. USC was able to get it done. There was some chatter about taking OVs down the road, potentially going into the fall. But again, candidly, when a number gets met and you know where you want to be and you feel great about it, good for USC, man. They got it done. But this is an elite day one impact guy. He's going to enroll early. He's going to recruit his tail off for USC. Huge win, both with perception but also on paper. Massive win with Mark Bowman.
Alabama has some top prospects down there this weekend, too. What guy would you say that Alabama fans need to be worried about or be understanding who that guy is?
You see the list, but it was really, for me, top 247 offensive tackle Malachi Lee out of Honolulu. This is the number 181 overall player in the country, elite talent. He's considering Alabama, Michigan, Texas, Georgia. But for me, a guy you know well, Chris Kapilovic, the offensive line coach there in Tuscaloosa, I think the Crimson Tide are going to get this one done. They laid out the red carpet. They knew that they might only get one crack at him, and I think that they moved the needle. So I really like Alabama. I would say lock to Brandon Huffman, Blair Angulo for more on Malachi Lee as we move forward. But right now, I like the Tide.
Florida also had a ton of talent this weekend as well. Who should Florida fans be keeping their eye on?
I would keep an eye on Vodney Cleveland. I know it's a guy we've talked to multiple times, top 247 defensive lineman out of Birmingham, the number 52 overall player in the nation. Miami, Texas, Georgia, Auburn, all in play for the one-time Alabama commit. But I like Florida. I think head coach Billy Napier has really put his stamp, his finger on this one, doing a great job. Defensive coordinator Ron Roberts, defensive line coach Gerald Chapman. I mean, I really think that Florida is moving the needle. They're connecting with him, the relationships. He said that he felt like family when it comes to the Gators staff. So I like Florida. We'll see if they can get it done.
Speaking of family, my Clemson family, Coach Sweeney's known for monster weekends and just getting it done. Who should the Clemson fans be keeping their eye on?
I think you got to watch top 247 offensive lineman Leo Delaney. He's out of Charlotte over Providence Day. And this is the kid. He's the number 62 overall player in the 2026 class. For a while, there was a lot of buzz about him following his teammate and good friend David Sanders Jr. to Tennessee, Michigan, Penn State, the other ones that have had some buzz. But in the end, I like offensive line coach Matt Luke to get the job done. He is an elite recruiter. I mean, there's just something about Clemson. When they get everything in order like they have over the last couple months, when they get NIL in order, when they get just everything behind the scenes, Clemson's really difficult to beat when it comes to the local talent in North Carolina and South Carolina. This is another one that right now, barring a surprise, I like Clemson to get this one done.
Yeah, Coach Sweeney usually put that net around, and once he casts that net, it's usually happened. Yeah. Georgia hosted some elite talent this weekend. Who should Georgia fans be tracking closely?
Yeah, I mean, Ben Wolk is a great follow right now, but he's been all over this. But top 247 edge rusher Kamari Brooks out of Bogart, Georgia, 6'4", 220. This is a kid that is nasty. I mean, he is top of the board for the Bulldogs staff. You got others in play like USC and Texas, but the real threat to Georgia, in my opinion, the Alabama Crimson Tide. I think that's the one that might sway things in favor of the Tide, but right now I think Georgia's the team to beat. I think head coach Kirby Smart is just going to be too difficult. When he sinks his teeth in on in-state talent like Georgia's tough to beat, and I like Georgia to get this one done.
Auburn also had a monster weekend. This weekend had some major players on campus. Who do you feel real good about that they had on campus that you can walk away and say, you know what, that's the one?
I would say Jaquez Wilkes out of Alabama is top 247 edge guy. I mean, they had a loaded list of talent on campus, but he's the one that myself and Christian Clemente, who does a great job over at Auburn Undercover, he was the one that we were watching. 6'4", 220. They've been battling Miami, Texas A&M, Alabama, and a lot of schools, but I think that DJ Durkin, the defensive coordinator there, his ability to recruit him not as just an edge guy, but really as a Mike linebacker. The fit defensively at Auburn, I mean, they are treating this kid like a top-of-the-board kid, a five-star type of kid. I just think Auburn's going to be too difficult to beat. I like the Tigers. I think they're in a really good spot.
Ole Miss missed out on Bryce Gilmore a little bit earlier.
Tough
But
blow.
Emmanuel Tucker is a name that we need to be tracking closely. How do you feel about that one, landing Ole Miss?
Yeah, I feel great about it. I mean, I don't think he's completely done. He's supposed to go to LSU this weekend. He might go back to Mississippi State. He was once committed to the Bulldogs. But look, he visits Ole Miss. He decommits from Mississippi State. I mean, this is a kid that Ole Miss is going to do a really good job for, and they're pushing hard for him. So we'll see if anything changes regarding his visit schedule. Like I said, LSU, then Mississippi State over the next 2 weeks. But the Rebels lead, no question about it, for the 6'5", 290-pounder who's cemented in our top 247. So I like Ole Miss to get it done. I think Lane Kiffin's going to put his stamp on this one.
Tom, thanks again for the great OV intel.